Okay, so after checking the standings, we at this point are 2-4. There is no point to play the other two rounds of Magic for this tournament. We're definitely not going to be making top 8, and we're not making any prizes, so kind of sort of looking back at what happened here, definitely had a number of misplays, playing too fast or too slow, so it's just going to come with more practice. So that's, something definitely to work on here for me. But other than that, looking at the matchups, what kind of ended up losing it for us? Well, in the Delver matchup, not having access to Oblivion Ring or Revoke Existence was pretty rough because Sword of War and Peace just went to town on us. In the Wolf Run matchup in the first round, we just got crushed by Titans. So, not having access once again to Oblivion Ring, and then also to Mana Leak, really hurt. And then in the last match with Pod, not having access to the aforementioned cards, Oblivion Ring and Mana Leak, really hurt. So, looking at kind of changes here for the future would be to find a way to make an inclusion of Oblivion Ring and Mana Leak. If that means, shaving some of the potential cards that don't see as much importance in some of these matchups, that might be, potentially cutting like a Mental Misstep. I mean, Misstep is really, really good against Delver. It's so good. Gale definitely helped us in the Esper matchup. I mean, being able to Gale him for 3 was really relevant. I guess the only thing to look at this would be how big of a contender is Esper Delver compared to all the Delvers you're going to see, and the real answer is I just don't know. Did see more Delver Blade. I think Delver Blade tends to be a little bit more popular, but I mean, Gale is still good against Delver Blade, so really, I'm not sure if shaving Gale is the right move. Cards that worked, Gut Shot was amazing. I recently made that change. I feel like, I always want more Gut Shots in the Delver matchup. It was great against Huntmaster. Other cards that worked, Grafdigger's Cage when it stuck, was an absolute beating against Pod. Completely shut it down. Very good against shutting down Zenith, like in the red-green aggro matchup. Other cards that worked well, Snapcaster Mage is doing a great job at recurring Gather for just utter shenanigans with Champion and Gather. And then, of course, being able to actually get the combo off. Well, we didn't see the combo that many times actually take shape, especially like in I believe the first game of the first match, we did see the full combo. We were able to do 19 points of damage in one turn with the Puresteel Collar combo. So, kind of another question to ask is, how often are you able to get combo, to really get the combo off the ground? Is it worth just having one collar, as a potential way to, get a little bit of reach for the deck and a little bit of extra, viability, and then is it better to, put in other cards? Is it better to run bigger threats? Other potential threats we could look at are running either maybe possibly either Image, and if we were going to run it main, we'd probably want to run Metamorph instead. Other potential cards would be Hero Bladehold, Sword of War and Peace main deck, if you want to run Mirror Crusader. These are all very good cards as well, which makes it kind of more of a big, sort of a slower deck, and that could be the direction that you want to go. Not really sure. Is it better to look at sort of the main deck Mana Leak with the Snapcaster Mage so we can get some early aggression in with the champions and then just stop everything, over 4 mana cost? So these are really important questions, and I'm not sure the answer to them. I'd love to hear your feedback, barring the pretty terrible, not even noticing how long I had left in the matchup and just losing to time in one matchup and then playing too fast. Barring some of the misplays, do you think, certain changes to the main board, certain changes to the sideboard would really help us? Because ideally this is really just a, another way for me to kind of prepare for some of the other tournaments. Looking at preparing for the GP Minneapolis. What changes do we have to make in order to make this deck work? So I know this deck is capable of it because was able to top 4 a PTQ with it before. Now that might have just been luck. It might have just been good matchups, but I think that this deck does have the tools to get there. The question is, what is the right configuration? So anyways, I want to thank everyone for watching. Obviously trying to get better at the misplays, but let me know what you think, and we will see you next time.